Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you an AT&T 4200 cordless telephone, and this is Nick's telephone from Wisconsin, and this is the initial checkout. And as you can see here on Nick's letter, he's got a very detailed letter about dates and times and issues with the phone and things that are going on with it, like charging, some buttons don't work, and just kind of a whole array of things that went on with the telephone. So we'll go ahead and remove that now. And the first issue was it wasn't charging, and you can see the charging light on now. And since this is the initial checkout, I had to go in and repair the charging on this telephone just so that we could do the initial checkout. And some of the issues that I got with this telephone was when you try to access the telephone and get a line out, sometimes it doesn't recognize its base. Just like that. Now the second time we activated it, it did hit. Now of course the off button doesn't work. And now it's doing different things. So we have to hang it up to get it to hang up. The second time it hit again. And then it hit again. So what we're going to do is go ahead and troubleshoot the telephone, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the battery on this telephone. Now this is a 3.6 volt battery at 700 milliamps. But we're going to go ahead and pull this telephone apart real quick, the handset, and I'll give you a look at the inside of this. This gives you a look at the inside circuit board. So we're just going to dismantle it here. We need to get in and troubleshoot the main board. We also need to take a look at the keypad and board. Piece of protective plastic, because these two circuit boards pretty much lay on each other. And now what we're going to have to do is, there's a whole array of tabs that have to be cut. There must be 20 of them. They did not put screws in this particular model. They're tabs that are melted down, or standoffs melted down on the board, and so you have to cut each one of them and then remove the board. So what we're going to do is take a short break and get the tabs cut away so that we can pull this board up. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and so what we've done is we've went through the board and repaired some bad solder that we didn't like on the board, and also went into the dial board and keypad and cleaned it. And you probably don't want to do that unless you know what to use to clean it with, because if you wipe any of the conductive material away or put something on that may corrode later, you're going to have a problem. And so it's probably best not to even get to that point if you're not sure what to use. And another thing, when you cut these tabs off, there's so many small traces running around the tabs that you may not even want to attempt to cut them off, because when you're cutting them off, it's very easy to cut a trace, and they're so small you'd have to track out and see what you did or what was cut. So you may not even want to get to that point where you pull the board out. It would be a lot of work to repair the traces, and sometimes there's 4 and 5 traces right in a row, and if you run something sharp across that and tear those traces in half, you'll be working on the thing for a long, long time. So anyway, basically what we want to do is, I want to show you something else. If you notice, this keypad only goes down so far, and there's 3 more options here, and they're programming options is what they are. It's to store numbers, and this particular telephone in this model 4200 just didn't have that, but normally on some of the other ones they would have put those extra 3 buttons. So the options are there, and they're on the board, and they do work, and you can access them, but the keypad does not allow you to. So let's go ahead and turn it on. We're going to walk through our numbers. I'm going to end in a 2. I'm going to hang up, turn it back on, and redial. It's going to end in a 2. I'm going to hang up. I'm going to ring it. Here's your piezo buzzer. Let that go one more time. Turn the unit on. Turn it off. Turn it on. Walk through my numbers one more time. I'm not holding this board securely. End in a 2. We'll try that one more time. I have to put my finger behind it. End in a 2. Off. Back on, and redial. And it'll end in a 2. And we'll go ahead and turn the unit off. Now, another thing I want to mention here is I went through this and put it on test equipment and lined everything out. We have crystals in this telephone. We also have a frequency pack here with coils in it. And I have aligned everything out and came up with the proper frequency on it. So, you know, on some of these telephones of this age, when you press the button and they don't see the base, what you do is you have to just hit the button until it sees the base, because basically what's happening is there's either a frequency interfering with it and it's not allowing it to connect to the base, or it's looking for one of its channels that would be the best channel to use. Now, in the technology on these, they weren't really searching for the channels, but the channels would change if you weren't getting your base. And so they had like 10 channels. And so that might be an issue at times, because they don't have all that much power And what happens is if there's any overriding frequency or something's disturbing the frequency, you're either going to get a bad reception or you're just not going to get the bass. And lining it out helped a little bit, but it's never going to be 100% because the circuitry gets older, and as it gets older you can't really nail exactly which component might be causing a problem, but that's why they give you coils to line out and come up with the best frequency match that you can. So that's been done. Anyway, we'll go ahead and turn it on again and see right there. You might have to move it a little. Okay, we're back now, and what we've done here is I like to, once we have them apart, go through all the solder and repair the solder points that I don't like. And so we've done that. Another situation that we went through is I lined out the tunable coils here and made sure that the frequency was right on. So even though these telephones have some age on them and other frequencies can interfere with them, we have lined it out to the proper frequency, so it's as good as it's going to be, and it's as good as it's going to get. So we've went through that part of the troubleshooting process and repair. We also went into the main PC board and cleaned our dial board and our dial pad. Now, if you use the improper cleaners on this, it can create, later on, it can create a corrosion, and also if you use the wrong cleaners, you can wipe out the conductive material here. And so if you wipe out the conductive material or use a cleaner on it that will corrode later on down the road after you close up the phone, you're going to have some issues. So if you're not sure what to use, you probably shouldn't even try to clean it. But we've got this all squared away here now, and what we're going to do is do some tests here. So what I want to do first of all is I want to ring the telephone. And here's your piezo buzzer. I'll let it go one more time. We'll go ahead and answer the phone. Now I want to walk through my numbers. I'm going to end in a 2. I'm going to hang up, turn the phone on, and hit redial. And it should end in a 2. I'm going to hang up. I want to walk through our numbers again. It's going to end in a 2. Hang up. Redial. And it ended in a 2. Now what I want to do is I want to transmit. So I'm going to pick the whole telephone up, handset. Every time you see that red light on the analyzer light up, that's an indication of 100% modulation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. Okay. Now we have a test clip that we're using as an antenna. And so now what we want to do is we want to hang up, and I want to ring it again. go one more time. We'll dial our numbers one more time since that was the issue. Okay, now what we want to do is I want to ring it one more time. Let it go one more time. We'll go ahead and answer it. I want to dial our numbers one more time since that was one of the issues. I'm going to end in a 2. I'm going to hang up. And I'm going to hit redial. And it'll end in a 2. Okay, we're back. And so what we've done here is I went ahead and put the handset back together again, so we're all finished up with the handset part of this repair. And I want to show you something here. We have to check everything out, and I want to get into the base and kind of show you a little bit of the base. Now I have something that I want to show you here real quick. I'm going to give you some dial tone, and I want you to hear what this sounds like when I do this. See that? What we want to do now is I want to take this base apart. I'm going to check it one more time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and unplug the base here. And I want to get it ready to remove it. And we want to take a look at an area here of the board that was causing us a problem. Get a small magnifying glass here. Now this crystal, I don't know if you can see this. I'll try to show it to you. See if I can get it to move back and forth. That leg on the crystal, which will be right in this area right here, is not soldered. And it's loose on the board. So what we want to do here now is we're going to take a short break. I'm going to let my soldering gun heat up, we're going to repair that trace and that solder point. We'll be right back. Okay, we're ready to go ahead and solder that point. And I'm going to go ahead and take care of that right now. I want to resolder that crystal. We have a couple other crystals on the board. We've got one right here. We want to resolder that, make sure that that's in well. While we're into this unit, we might as well just go ahead and take care of that. We have another crystal that's located right here. We're going to get that real quick. I also want to get this capacitor, although it looks pretty sturdy. I want to go ahead and grab it while I'm in here. Now, when I shut the video down, what we're going to do is I'm going to go through the whole board and resolder everything, but we're going to take a short break here in a second, and I'm going to take care of everything that I see, and then we're going to do some final checks on this telephone. You will find in electronics that components that set up off the board, we definitely want to check that coil. Our crystal is not rocking back and forth any longer, so we're okay there. You'll find that in electronics, components that set up off the board can break free. Now what we want to do is I want to put the top back on. I want to plug the unit back in. I want to set our handset on. Make sure we got our charging light. I want it to interchange its code. Okay, we're back, and so now what we have finished up the base and got that all taken care of and everything resoldered up the way we wanted it. We're going to go ahead and do some final checks. I want to go ahead and ring the telephone. Let that go a couple times. Give you some dial tone. If you watch the analyzer, we'll walk through our numbers. End in a 2. We're going to go ahead and turn it off, turn it back on, redial. It ended in a 2 here. I want to go ahead and transmit into the handset. If you watch this red light, that's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. So now what we can do is we can move the telephone line over to a regular line. We'll call it time and temp, or some dial tone.
Good afternoon. When you need body work, we're a short drive away. Offenburg Body Center, 234-0330. Today is Thursday, June 21st. The time is 2:44. Current temperature 89 degrees. Now the Belleville area weather forecast. Partly sunny today, 40% chance of a shower and a thunderstorm, highs around 90. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid-60s, mostly sunny on Friday, a high in the upper 80s.
Okay. Now we can call my number, and it'll be busy. Dial tone. We'll call one other number.
Thank you for calling Walmart. Thank you for calling Belleville Walmart Supercenter. How can I help you?
How you doing?
Doing good. How about yourself? yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Can you hear me okay?
Sure can.
Okay. Can I get the deli?
Sure can. Just a moment.
Appreciate it. I might be on break. I guess they're busy cooking. Okay. Well, we don't have time to wait for them. Okay, now we know this telephone is fully functional. Okay, now that we know that this telephone has been repaired and it's fully functional, we can get this telephone back to Nick. And I'm sure he's going to be happy because he's had this telephone for a long time, and I don't think it's been in service, and he tried to get it up and running, and there was a lot of issues with it. So although we don't have any kind of control over how the battery is going to react, it seems to be fine at this point. But we don't have any control over the rechargeable batteries in them. But we do know that the unit is charging, and it is charging at the proper rate. Nick can start using it again. I know it was disconnected for quite a long time, and Nick pulled it out and was going to try to get it working, and it had all kinds of different obstacles in his way, a charging problem, had a keypad problem, and then we had some static and loose crystals and bad solder. But once all that was taken care of, I think this is going to be a pretty decent phone. Now, granted, on an RF phone or radio frequency, they don't have all that much power, and if any stray frequencies come in, you will always have a problem. So I can't control the frequencies that might disturb this telephone, and we really don't get involved in rechargeable batteries. Just for the simple fact that if I get somebody a new battery, then something goes wrong with it, then they'd have to send it back to me. I'd have to get them another battery, send it to them. So we don't involve ourselves with rechargeable batteries. We do make sure that they are charging properly, and this one is, and the voltage is charging at a proper rate. And now that that part has been repaired, it is charging at a proper rate. So other than that, I have no control other than what you've just seen on the video. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.